Hare Krishna. How many of us want to establish a connection with Krishna? भगवान से कौन कौन संबंध बनाना चाहते हैं? Because today I am at a very, very special place. This place is Karauli in Rajasthan, and interestingly enough, I am personally visiting this place for the very first time. Here there is a very special deities, Shri Radha Madanmohan ji. So I'll tell you a little in brief about these deities. So as we know, Krishna's great grandson Vajranab, he was making lot of deities of Krishna because he wanted to see how Krishna would look alike. So he was getting instructions from Uttara, who was the one personality who had actually seen Krishna. So he would carve out the deities of Krishna and he would take the instructions, based on the instructions given by Uttara, he was carving these deities. So basically he established three very significant deities. The first one, when Uttara saw, she said that this deity, the feet exactly resemble the Supreme Lord. It's just like Krishna's feet. So this deity is none other than Shri Madanmohan. Now these Madanmohan deities carved by Vajranab, and there are two other important deities, Gopinath ji and Govindadev. So today we are at Karauli, Rajasthan, where these deities, which was actually originally carved 5,000 years ago, they are personally residing here. And as you can see here, so actually in the temple, the camera is not allowed. We are in the palace just next to that temple, and this palace belongs to Shri Gopal Singh ji. So he was the king who actually constructed this Madanmohan temple. And if you can see here, so backside we will find a place where the deities were first shifted while the temple was getting ready. So actually there is a long story behind this also. So Sanatan Goswami, one of our most prominent Acharya, Rupa and Sanatan, we keep hearing about them, and the other 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So now this Sanatan Goswami, when he reached Vrindavan, there was not even one temple of Krishna at that time. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given this instruction to Rupa Goswami and to Sanatan Goswami that you establish lost places and you make many, many temples in Vrindavan. So Sanatan Goswami, when he first came and he was staying in Vrindavan, one night he got this very interesting dream. In his dream came Madanmohan, this deity. And these deity, they said that, why don't you take me and worship me? Establish opulent worship of me. And Sanatan Goswami was so fascinated by these deities. And these deities at that time was residing in a humble priest, a humble Brahmana's house in Mathura. So when Sanatan Goswami got up, he had no idea, no clue whether it was real and where do I find this Krishna, where do I find this Krishna. So Sanatan Goswami, next day morning, he got up and he went outside for begging alms to different houses, and he happened to reach at the house of Purushottam Chaube. So here he saw that the same deities, the very same deities are residing there in the house of Purushottam Chaube. And he was a very humble Brahmana who was serving deities in a very simple yet nice manner. So he narrated Purushottam Chaube, if you can give me these deities, because they came in my dream and they asked me that I should take care of them. But the Brahmana, like all of us, how we are attached to our deities, so the Brahmana was also attached to his deities and he refused. But interestingly, that night when Purushottam Chaube slept, Madan Mohan ji came in his dream and he asked Purushottam to please give these deities or please give me to Sanatan Goswami. So next day morning, Purushottam came with these deities and he gave it to Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami started worshipping Madan Mohan ji in a small hut. And he was meditating on this thought that only if I can construct a very nice palatial temple for him, then it will be so wonderful. So thinking like that, what happened is one day, so Sanatan Goswami's hut was near Yamuna river in Vrindavan. So one day a salt merchant was crossing Yamuna and he was going to Agra, and somehow his boat got stuck there in the sand. And he came to Sanatan Goswami for help. So Sanatana said that I am very weak and feeble, I can't really help, but my protector, my shelter is Madan Mohan, so why don't you go and ask him? So this merchant, his name was Krishnadas, so he goes and he establishes a barter with Sanatan Goswami that okay, so you help me in like taking out my boat and I will construct a gorgeous temple for you. So this is how then our first very, very opulent and amazingly gorgeous temple was constructed in Shri Dham, Vrindavan. But because the Mughals attacked, so that same deities of Madanmohan was shifted here to this place in Karauli. So come and see, have a look at this beautiful, gorgeous palace, Gopal Singh Ji, the king at that time. And this palace is more than 300 years old. So 300 years old palace, and that, as I was telling you, is the place where the deities first when they were shifted, so they stayed there. As of now, there is some painting work going on, so we are not really allowed to go inside and see that. But that was the place where Madan Mohan Ji was worshipped. And soon after, Madan Mohan Ji was shifted from that place to the temple which is constructed on the next side, on the other side of this palace. So that is Radha Madan Mohan Ji temple in Karauli. Now Radha Madan Mohan, he is known as the Sambandh deity for establishing the connection with Krishna. This is the one whose shelter we need to take, especially when we are new devotees, when we do not really, understand as in how can I bring my connection, how can I establish my connection with Krishna. So Madan Mohan Ji is the most helpful one, and Sanatan Goswami, that is what he says. So the pranam mantra is Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Mande Matir Gatir Yat Sarvasya Padambojau Radha Madana Mohanau. So here I am at Karauli, and here, as we showed you, so this is the palace of Gopal Singh King, who was instrumental in establishing a very, very wonderful worship system of Madan Mohan Ji. So those of you who are interested, anytime you are visiting Vrindavan, this place is around 3.5 hours drive from Vrindavan. This place is in Rajasthan. We would also be visiting Gopinath Ji and Govind Ji, and Krishna willing, I'll be covering and showing you from there. So till such time, thank you all very much, and my prayers that all of us establish that lost connection with Krishna. Hare Krishna.